Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I just kind of wanted to talk about some things that I've been learning with Minecraft animation. As the title of the video says, this is the differences between, FPS types and stylized animation, and I've been really looking into this stuff for a couple years now, and I'm finally able to do it, and it's been really cool. So basically, I created this test animation for us to look at and review today. It's not amazing, but I was like, I want to make a backflip. I made this in about an hour and 30 minutes. This is the backflip animation I made at 24 frames per second. As you can see, it's super smooth and seamless. It looks great. This is the standard for cinema. 24 frames per second is most widely known in the industry as being the best. However, you notice it's very, it looks great. It's just very smooth. Although it looks really good, it's very computer generated feeling, if that makes sense. Like if you look at any live action footage, there's always some form of motion blur. And motion blur is basically when a character is moving really quickly, there is a blur, which makes it look cleaner, I guess. Basically makes the frames blend together a little bit smoother so it doesn't feel as, computer generated. Now in animation, and in 2D animation in particular, this is used as smear frames, and smear frames are incredibly important because they make that motion blur effect, which can really change the way an animation feels. I also made a motion blur styled one. The motion blur one feels a lot more natural, it feels a little bit more organic, and it honestly comes off as more cinematic in my opinion versus the normal 24 frames per second one, because this one, it kind of, the frames blend together with the motion blur and it makes your eyes a lot more happy. Now, recently, there has been a massive uptick in the animation industry where people are doing more stylized animation. Which is really impressive, and I am super stoked about it because it is literally changing the direction of animation as we know it. And this would take the form of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You've heard it here before. It is so incredibly popular because of its animation style and how amazing that is. Now, the reason it's so popular and the reason it looks so cool to people is because of that choppy animation style, which is really nice. And I don't know why, but it makes your brain just feel good. I think it's because it's kind of imitating stop motion in a way. I don't know, it looks really good. So I made over here this same backflip movement in 12 frames per second, which is really cool. I didn't know I could do this, so this is kind of a practice run for me. But this is how this looks. And as you can see, it's freaking awesome. I really love the way that this looks. I think the style came off very nicely. I think it looks smooth in its own way. Now, there are obviously some adjustments I could make. I only made this in an hour and 30 minutes, but like if you look through, the transition between like the tuck and fall and the landing is a little bit rough. And also the whole animation is just a little not perfect, but I mean, that's what you're going to get if you only spend an hour and 30 minutes making an animation. So I'm pretty proud of this. Now, there is another thing I could have done, which is I could have done what more 2D animation does and create smear frames. And I looked at an example of this from Thomas Animations, and he is the one who inspired me to try this in the first place. Because originally I was thinking there's no way you could do that with 3D animation. That wouldn't look right, especially with Minecraft animation. I just don't think it would look correct at all. So what I did was I was like, okay, let's see if I can do this at all. And looking at Thomas Animations, it was incredibly good, like insanely good. I'm so impressed with how he did it, and I was like, ooh, I want to try that. So that's exactly what I did, and I noticed I went through frame by frame of Thomas Animation's video, and there are smear frames throughout the entirety of the action scene, which is really awesome. And he basically did this by replicating objects and kind of putting them like lower in the in-between frames, which is such a smart idea. Oh my gosh. And it makes things look so smooth. It can literally change the way you see things. So like you can see the Minecraft sword in this frame right here. It looks, I mean, and in reality, it's completely straight, but because he added this smear frame right here, it looks curved and it looks bent and it almost looks like it stretches and like squashes and stretches, which is really awesome. Anyway, so I took extreme inspiration from this, and I'm like, okay, let's see if I can do that. And I did it, and here's how it came out. I really like it. Again, I never added any of the smear frames because I just didn't have the time. But this came out really good, and I'm really impressed with how this looks. Considering I only started Minecraft animation on Blender early April, which is 3 weeks ago at this point, I'm really proud of myself and the progress I've made. And I've been studying this stuff in animation principles and how to do this since I was very young, like 5 years ago. So I've been learning about this for a long time. And I'm finally being able to implement it, so I'm like really excited, so expect a lot more videos from me. I also have been thinking about and playing around with the idea of doing Blender on stream, so if you're interested in that, or you think you might watch that, like watch my process of me actually making something, please let me know in the comments below. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Also, if you have any recommendations or things you want me to make in Blender, please comment those down below. I'd really appreciate that. And you know, I might actually make something. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later.